Welcome to our channels, where inner exploration and mental strength reach new heights. Today, we'll dive into a special talk from one of the foremost masters of meditation and spiritual development, Deepak Chopra. In this video, we will explore the topic, Awakening the Spirit Within, a profound journey into our inner world. Deepak Chopra will guide us through valuable insights and practical methods to awaken the spirit within, unlocking doors to boundless peace and wisdom. Deepak Chopra's talk provides not only theoretical knowledge about meditation and mental strength, but also practical tools to help you connect more deeply with yourself. You'll learn how to tap into your latent spiritual energy, release stress, and create a life filled with meaning and balance. If you're seeking guidance to awaken your inner power and find a path to peace and wisdom, hit that subscribe button and join us. Don't miss the chance to explore and awaken your inner spirit with us. Thank you for visiting our channel. Let's embark on this journey of discovering inner strength through inspiring and insightful talks by Deepak Chopra. Deepak Chopra was introduced as one of the special guests. He is the founder of the Chopra Foundation, a non-profit organization focused on research in health and humanitarianism. Additionally, he is the founder of Chopra Global, a comprehensive health company that blends science and spirituality. He is a pioneer in the field of integrative medicine and has written over 90 books, translated into more than 43 languages. Many of his works have become New York Times bestsellers, both in fiction and non-fiction genres. During the conversation, Deepak shared his daily routines. He typically tries to go to bed between 8 and 10 in the evening and get a full 8 hours of sleep. Before sleeping, he practices yoga nidra and meditates on his physical death. He contemplates the nature of reality and records the answers he receives during the night every morning. He does nothing from 6 to 11 in the morning except yoga, meditation, and reflection on what he heard during the night. Afterwards, he is busy with conversations and other work. Whenever he starts a task, he often asks himself two questions: whether it is enjoyable and whether the people he interacts with feel happy. He also considers if it helps alleviate suffering in any way, even just a little. If the answer is yes, he continues. If not, he refrains. Chopra emphasizes that he currently has no specific goals or ambitions, which helps him to be happy. When asked about the state of humanity, Deepak believes we are in the Kali Yuga, a period when human consciousness has lost clear vision. He feels we are falling into a state of forgetfulness, not recognizing our own beauty and divinity. However, he also observes that many people, including himself and others, are striving to share their divine awareness to help awaken others. Deepak Chopra emphasizes that, in the current situation, humanity needs clear actions to move towards collective awakening. He explains that, according to yoga tradition, there are many paths to unity and deep self-understanding. He mentions Raj Yoga, which is daily practice, and Bhakti Yoga, which involves expressing love through actions. Chopra stresses that love is not just a feeling. Without action, love remains theoretical. Karma Yoga, according to him, is the expression of love through action, providing true meaning to life. He also refers to the concept of emergence, mentioned by social scientists, that when there is a common vision, such as a collective awakening towards a more peaceful, just, and happier world, people will advance together. To achieve this vision, he emphasizes the need for emotional and spiritual connections, complete transparency, and proper commitment. Goals such as peace, social justice, and planetary health are important not only for humans, but also for all life on the planet. He continues to explain that the connection between the internal and external ecosystems is inseparable. Air, water, earth, and even the stars have a profound connection with our bodies. The term environment sometimes makes people forget their close bond with the natural world. He praises initiatives like planting 1 million trees, viewing them as a means of restoring life on Earth. Chopra asserts that love in action is key to solving current problems, but he also emphasizes the importance of personal transformation. Without personal transformation, there can be no social or planetary transformation. He quotes Mahatma Gandhi, encouraging people to be the change they wish to see in the world, to become the love and peace they want to spread. He mentions Patanjali and the teachings in the Yoga Sutra, which affirm that when we are steadfast in ahimsa, meaning peace and non-violence, every creature around us will feel the tranquility from our very presence. It is not what we say or do, but our peaceful and compassionate presence that can dissolve hostility in all relationships. Deepak Chopra shared his thoughts on spiritual traditions and beliefs about the Kali Yuga period, a time of great challenge for humanity. He believes that we have the opportunity to restore life on the planet, but whether this will be successful depends on the will of the divine. According to him, we cannot assume that we have absolute autonomy at this moment, but we can only act as if we have autonomy. This underscores that whether or not the results manifest during our lifetime, change must still occur. Chopra shared that one day, humanity will awaken and we will witness a new culture, a Satyugi culture, where no one is in need. This is a world where no one lacks love or spiritual fulfillment, and everyone acts from their true sankalpa. He also mentioned that there have been times when he felt disillusioned with humanity. There were days he woke up wondering why, despite all the energy and love he had invested in serving the community, Siva, he felt so disappointed. At times, the turbulent world, especially after major political events, made him feel sad and disillusioned about people. He wondered if others like Deepak had ever experienced similar feelings, and if so, how they managed. Chopra continued to explain that he had similar feelings for many decades, sensing that humanity was sinking into destruction. He realized that many people in the world act based on their level of awareness. This is not to excuse wrongful behavior, but to emphasize that everyone is doing their best within their capacity for awareness. He had tried to debate with people like Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris to prove his viewpoint. However, Chopra has now abandoned that confrontation. Instead, he chooses to live with joy. Each morning, he asks himself how to make his day joyful and successful. If joy is not the measure of success, then, according to him, no success is truly meaningful. Chopra believes we should start and end everything with joy, leaving other matters to the divine. He advises that we need to have a proper sankalpa, trust in divine guidance, and relinquish negative emotions like moral indignation. Deepak Chopra shared that there are some conflicts from people who feel that certain forms of anger are healthy when they engage in marches and activism, and he understands that. Chopra believes that some souls might be designed to do this, though he is not sure if he is one of them. He questions whether these actions are actually increasing awareness that they are trying to prevent. Chopra wonders, as he has discussed regarding moral indignation, whether it truly helps us return to peace. Recently, Chopra sat with a group of teenagers, all under 16, and their parents. During the conversation, a boy said, "Atoms and molecules do not cling, and the soul in the body does not cling either. But why do we live in such a clinging existence?" The conversation then shifted to awareness. Chopra has conducted extensive research on awareness throughout his life, especially over the past 40 years. He was asked about his new findings on awareness. Chopra stated that, for him, awareness is when he can be internally silent without being distracted by wasteful or negative thoughts. This is his current state, though it may change over time. He wants to know whether his awareness is developing. Chopra explained that before answering, he wanted to distinguish between anger and hostility. He noted that anger can be a release of energy and can be useful, while hostility, which is a desire for revenge and creates inflammation, is truly a risk factor for death. Hostility is not like anger, as anger is merely a release of energy and, if addressed, is not harmful. Chopra explained that what others describe as a quiet mind is the closest we can get to awareness. When talking about samadhi, Chopra suggested that it means not only a quiet mind, but that everything is quiet. In Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, Chopra referred to the second verse of the first chapter, where the teachings of yoga begin. Yoga is the calming of the vrittis. Vrittis include sensations, sensory perceptions, images, emotions, and thoughts. When these vrittis are calmed, what remains is the source of all experience, according to non-dual spiritual traditions like Sufism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Kabbalah, and others. Chopra explained that all experiences, including sensations, images, emotions, and thoughts, are merely sensations. When we look at the world, what we see are just colors, shapes, and forms. Concepts like iPhone, hand, or t-shirt are human-created concepts. No child can tell you that it is an iPhone. Thus, ordinary experience is merely sensations, sensory perceptions, images, emotions, and thoughts. When we calm these elements, we approach the source of all experience, including what we call atoms and molecules. Chopra emphasized that atoms and molecules are not real entities. They are just labels given to states of perception that humans have. No crocodile can tell you that it is an atom or molecule. The world for an insect with hundreds of eyes or a bat is entirely different. What we call the material world is just an imaginary concept created by humans by naming experiences. Deepak Chopra explained that when people die, the soul does not leave the body. Rather, the body leaves the soul. The soul has nowhere to go, no specific location, and is not within space-time. Chopra pointed out that we often have concepts like, my body, I will die, my soul will leave the body, I will leave the world. Whereas in reality, the world, body, and mind are all forms of transformed perception. He continued to explain that a deeper concept of awareness is the only reality. Currently, there are three predominant worldviews. The first viewpoint Chopra dismisses is Descartes' dualism, which divides the mind and body with the famous phrase, I think, therefore I am. Chopra believes this viewpoint is entirely incorrect. The reality is the opposite. I exist, therefore I think. He emphasized that it is not possible to think without existing. Dualism is no longer effective and does not explain any experiences, including the action of raising a hand, as it starts with a non-material thought and ends with a very physical action. Dualism also violates the laws of thermodynamics, although Chopra acknowledges that this is a different discussion. Chopra turned to the remaining two predominant theories. The first is physicalism, which constitutes 99.9% of contemporary science and is based on physics. Chopra pointed out three issues with physicalism. The first issue is the division between subject and object, that is, the division between I and what I am looking at. The second issue is the assumption that matter is real, while in reality, it is a perceptual activity. The third issue is the notion of a physical observer, that is, a soul which is inaccurate. The body is actually an experience within the soul. Chopra asserts that the world, body and mind are within his perception. All these elements are merely temporary oscillations in time, while perception has no shape and is not bound by time, nor governed by birth and death. When great sages are asked about what happens after death, they often answer that they have never been born, indicating that these questions need to be understood not only intellectually, but also experientially. Chopra provides definitions of perception that he has heard, but not ones he has created himself. The first definition is that perception is the knowing element in every experience. The second definition is that perception is the field in which all experiences occur. Chopra points out that experience does not occur in the brain, as the brain contains only chemical electricity and no sound, color, or images. When asked to visualize the Milky Way, a rainbow, or a rose, the experience occurs in perception. All experience happens in perception, is known in perception, is created from perception, and is nothing but experience. Chopra concludes that the only thing that exists is perception. For the religious, they might say that only God exists, but Chopra acknowledges that this cannot be stated in academic environments such as Harvard Medical School or science and consciousness conferences. He gives the example that just as organs in the body differentiate from a pluripotent stem cell, everything is not separation, but differentiation. The entire universe is differentiated from the divine into noise, modes of perception, and the perceived. Chopra notes that all sentient beings are creating a universe, and we truly live in an infinite, multidimensional universe. Spiritual traditions call them lokas, not as positions in space-time, but as frequency domains within consciousness. Current scientists, especially theoretical physicists, believe that we live in an infinite universe with countless spatial dimensions, planets, and galaxies. The mystery of the universe is such that we must accept it. Deepak Chopra shared his views on acceptance and surrender to the divine, known in the Yoga Sutras as Ishvara Pranidhana. He explained that there is no need to resolve any mysteries, only to accept them, and from this acceptance will come peace, joy, and tranquility. Once achieved, one can become an active, joyful changemaker in the world, especially if young. Chopra questioned whether there is an end to enlightenment or spirituality and shared that during the pandemic, he felt a longing to explore the soul more, to love it, and to fly with it. Previously, he thought that the end of spirituality was achieving perfection, but now he no longer feels that way. Chopra said that in his view, there is no end to enlightenment or spirituality, and he does not use the term game to describe it, but rather play. He explained that in a game, one competes, but in a play, the characters are merely acting. This play is called Leela, and it can be played joyfully while transcending ignorance, or Maya, which is the belief in the mystical illusions of perception. He said that everything perceived is a mystical illusion, and the only thing that is not an illusion is the invisible, shapeless, infinite consciousness that transforms into specific forms for each species. According to Chopra, when one understands this, they will want to play. In Vedanta, the end of this play is called samadhi, which is a state of transcendence, no longer reincarnating as a biological being. He believes that resting in samadhi can lead to the realization that one can play. Chopra emphasizes that samkalpa, or intention, is more important than the story of karma. He describes the body as a karmic story being projected outward and suggests that the differentiation between the karmic body, the rainbow body, and the bliss body reflects differences in perception. He argues that infinite lokas actually lie within each person's own essence, not outside. Even God resides within one's essence, and the soul is not perception, but the awareness of experiences. Chopra shares that he hopes there is no end to everything and enjoys this journey of exploration. He perceives déjà vu as a sign of experiencing the past, and emphasizes that all experience is a form of déjà vu. Finally, Chopra states that karma is action, and the meaning of these actions can be shaped by soul perception with intentions of love, peace, purity, truth, and joy, or influenced by negative factors such as anger, desire, greed, bondage, and ego. Deepak Chopra clarified that the Kumbhakarna mentality, in which everyone seems to be asleep in understanding their presence, may relate to karma. He suggests that karma, through the actions of souls may have caused us to become separated from the divinity of our essence. Chopra believes that the spiritual process and self-study are ways to restore the unity of the essence and return it to a state of order. Once achieved, you simply need to wake up each morning, look at the ceiling, and feel that life is truly wonderful. According to Chopra, this wonderfully describes karma. He explains that another way to understand karma is to view it as personal history that we define. And history means it is past. It no longer exists. Thus, as long as we still identify ourselves with something that does not exist, we remain bound by karma. Chopra gives an example of people who enjoy different genres of movies, from horror to comedy, and suggests that everything has value in its own way. To overcome karma, he recommends that all one needs to do is replace karma with kriya. Chopra continues by explaining that if you close your eyes and experience your karmic body, you will only see a story describing the past. It does not reflect what is happening right now, and even what is happening right now cannot be captured. He says that we have identified ourselves with threads of desire and elusive clouds of memory, leading to a sense of confinement within the space of the body and the time of life. Chopra emphasizes that when you realize that everything is fictional, you will understand that overcoming karma is simply about replacing it with kriya, whether it is an action, mantra, sankalpa, mahavakya, or pratyahara. He believes that all these have been known and practiced beautifully for thousands of years. Chopra criticizes our fixation on concepts like karma and suggests that replacing karma with kriya can help us escape these constraints. He emphasizes that attention, intention, and the lightness of being are crucial. He also mentions Ishwara Pranidhana, the surrender to the divine and the divine mystery, and criticizes science for, despite being a great effort to decode mysteries, still relying on the wondrous aspects of life and not encompassing everything. Chopra argues that science only provides us with a small part of what exists out there and does not help us understand our own nature or what is behind scientific inquiry. He shows empathy for those who appreciate a simple, curious, and exploratory life. He concludes by inviting questions about the Great Awakening and expresses interest in understanding this concept better. Deepak Chopra has shared that evidence of the Great Awakening, according to him, would be the presence of a peaceful, just, sustainable, healthy, joyful world, where love is not just an emotion, but the ultimate truth at the center of creation. Chopra, along with Oprah Winfrey, hosted the 21-day meditation experience, a very popular program aimed at helping people tap into their highest consciousness. He encourages the use of 3 top tools to support and help the audience access higher consciousness, reminding them that these meditations are available on the Chopra app, with many free parts for those who want to participate. Chopra invites people to engage in a daily practice to access higher consciousness. He suggests that people sit quietly, close their eyes, and take a few deep breaths. Then, they should focus their attention on the heart and engage in a bit of reflection. He encourages people to ask themselves in their minds, who am I? Am I the changing body, or am I the awareness in which the changing body is just an experience? Am I the mind, or am I the consciousness in which the mind is a changing experience? Chopra emphasizes that there is no need to try to answer this question, just pose it and leave it there. Chopra continues with the second question: what is my deepest desire for myself and for other beings? He advises not to try to answer this question immediately, just to be aware of any feelings, images, emotions, or thoughts that might spontaneously arise. The third question Chopra poses is, what is my purpose? What is my calling in this historical moment? He again stresses that there is no need to try to answer right away, just to be aware of any feelings, images, emotions, or thoughts that may come. Finally, Chopra encourages everyone to ask, What am I grateful for? He suggests allowing any feelings, images, emotions, or thoughts to arise, and emphasizes that this is the most important because it opens the door to existence. Chopra advises that simply resting in one's essence and living with these questions will lead life to provide the answers. He expresses that the simplicity of living in the space of global peace may be much easier than imagined. He believes that remembering is essentially recalling what has been separated, and we do not need to learn anything new. We only need to remember what we already know.